Oh my God, there's so many good ones that I'm like, how long is this episode gonna be? Okay. Bride told bridesmaids to sleep in the hotel lobby couch.
I'm interested to see how this starts.
The Bridezilla had already made lots of demands. By the time the wedding was over, Bridesmaid 1 and i.e. Bridesmaid 2 just wanted to get home. The bride was staying in the hotel where the wedding was held, and Bridesmaid 1 and I said our goodbyes and were going to leave for home. The bride said no, we must stay with her until the flight in the early a.m. So we stayed back in her hotel room, just gossiping about the wedding. The new husband came to the room and wanted to sleep, or whatever else, it's his wedding night too. We said our goodbyes again and tried leaving. The bride did not let us leave and told us to wait downstairs. She would come hang out. We waited in the lobby for about 30 minutes and then texted her that we've called the Uber, have a good flight. She suddenly got concerned for us and told us it's too late at night to take an Uber. She told us to spend the night at the hotel lobby, not one with a 24-hour coffee shop, just a couple of couches and a weird receptionist, and leave at the same time as her flight. We went home and we still grumble about it to each other whenever we meet. What?
Bridezillas need to get a grip.
Yeah, get a freaking grip.
They need to scram.
They need to get a clue. Why would you want your friends, your bridesmaids, who just spent all of their time and money this weekend and the whole time leading up to your wedding on you?
Yeah.
And then you're demanding that they sleep in a hotel lobby? Why?
Yeah,
like, what are you scared of?
Right.
Are you
That's
scared to be
weird.
alone with your husband?
Sister, you just got married.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, are you good?
I feel like people get engaged and become brides or soon to be brides, and they forget their bridesmaids are actually friends or family.
Yeah.
And they just treat them as like, I don't even know what.
Yeah.
It's like, girly, these are still your people. Like, you need to rein it in.
Yeah, I think that's the
For
case
sure.
very often. I also think that sometimes in relationships, I just felt this happening to me in a relationship that I had where it got to the point where I was just kind of bored of the guy and I liked hanging out in group settings.
Mhm.
But then when it was just me and the guy, I would like dread that.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, gotta go. Like, I like your friends and
Yeah.
our friend group more than I like just hanging out with you.
Right.
So that had to end. But I'm like, maybe that's how the bride feels. Like, maybe she just doesn't want her party to end. If you marry someone, your wedding night, that's like the peak of your, I don't want to say joy, but that's like the most fun you will ever have.
Yeah.
So like, okay, maybe there's a possibility she just didn't want the party to end, but like, you're only going to settle into this like neutrality with your husband that if you aren't even excited to spend time with them now, you're not going to want to spend time with them in 10 years, in 5 years,
True.
in 2 years.
That's a good point. Because I
Yeah.
do think your wedding, sure, it's like the time of your life.
Yeah.
You want to keep it going, after party. But there does come a point where it's like, we got to wrap it up
Yeah,
at some point in the night.
totally. It's very odd.
That is very odd. Although I will say I got to watch what I say about weddings because I do think I'm going to be a bridezilla. But not like to my friends, more so when it comes to how things look. I'm going to want it to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And everyone to be, I don't know. But like, I don't think I would treat people badly. I think I'm just going to be very like type A.
I think that's fine though.
Okay.
You're not necessarily a bridezilla because you care about the details. That's a great thing, I
guess
think,
that's
for a lot of
true.
people.
Like, I'm banning Apple Watches. I'm telling everyone now.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay, good.
Do you want to ban Apple Watches even for your guests or just for your bridal party?
I don't think you could do it for your guests, unfortunately.
Oh, then I think you're even more solid.
But definitely, like, none on The Bachelorette.
no.
None in any sort of formal pictures at all.
Of course.
Like bridal party, or I mean, bridal shower.
Of course.
Oh, okay, good. That's not
Yeah.
that crazy.
As a photographer, I tell people to take off
Yeah.
I ask them first. I'm like, oh, are you going to be wearing that all day? And most of the time they're like, oh my gosh, good call.
Oh, good.
I'll take it off right now. It's like,
Yeah.
you don't need your Apple Watch on your friend's wedding day.
Right.
I think that's like asking someone to take off a hair tie around their wrist. It's just unnecessary for today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, put it in your bag and have it later when you actually need it.
An Aura ring. None of that.
A what ring?
Aura?
Aura.
Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like a new tracking device, but it's
Okay.
supposed to look sleek and not like a fitness sort of
Got it.
product. So, but still, like, I would notice it.
I think asking your bridesmaids to take off certain accessories is more than reasonable.
Okay, good.
And I feel like at most weddings anyway, I see the bridesmaids being like, do you want me to wear this necklace or this necklace? And the bride is like, I don't care. Like, whatever you want.
I don't think my friends would care, actually.
Yeah. I think they'll ask you, like, do you want me to take it off? Especially because your friends are so positive and wonderful. It's like they would want to take off their Apple Watch so that your photos look better.
I actually don't even know if I have friends that wear Apple Watches now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I don't wear an Apple Watch.
Maybe a couple of them, but like they wouldn't care.
Yeah.
I also, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, by the time I get married, I feel like who even knows if Apple Watches will be around?
That is so true.
But just like, I don't know, I'm going to be very particular.
Oh, me too.
I just know.
I think I will be too.
Yeah.
I'm going to do my best to be a Bridezilla, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
But I don't think there's a problem with that. The problem is when it just, like, that's crazy, making people sleep on the couch for you.
Yeah.
It crosses a line. I don't think either of us would cross a line.
No.
We would just want things to be a certain way.
No, that's like just demanding your friends to do something that is completely irrelevant to you, and it's only making their lives harder.
Yeah.
And it's not adding any positive experience to you. Like, it's one thing if you ask your friends for a favor and you're like, will you guys just do this one thing and it'll make my life easier on my wedding day? Like, that's what bridesmaids are for.
Yeah.
But asking your friends to sleep in a lobby, like, your life is not going to change whether they're sleeping in the lobby or whether they're not.
Yeah.
You're still going to be sleeping in your hotel room with your husband.
Yeah, what's the point of that?
Exactly. Like, that's not even a favor to ask someone. That's a demand that is so unreasonable and weird.
I will say, you made a good point, though. I feel like our friends are very, like, they're just good friends.
Yeah.
But I forget, sometimes people have horrible friends.
I know. It's so sad.
It's really sad.
There was a small update. She said they are still married 2 years later. She treats him like her personal ATM and busboy. I don't know why he's still around. She's extremely pretty, if that makes any difference.
I feel like it does, unfortunately.
I think it does too. There was an edit to clarify details of the story as well. OP said, we stayed back the first time, helping her take all the pins out of her hair. We thought she was kidding or exaggerating about the stay till I leave for the airport. We were hanging out in the hotel room and gossiping, so it's not like we were being held captive yet. We stayed back the second time because we assumed there was wedding gossip that she had to tell us before she went off to a low network zone. The third time, after being ghosted by her for 30 minutes, we left. Yeah, I feel like her asking you to just stay in her hotel room and hang out for a little bit isn't problematic, but it's can you guys sleep in the lobby instead of leaving?
Yeah, she sounds awful, to be
Yeah,
honest.
she sounds very out of touch. She needs to get a grip. Yeah, 2 years later, and she's treating her husband shitty and using him as a personal ATM and busboy. I think that she needs help. She might be hopeless. I don't think milk's gonna help her.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
Yeah, I'd be done with her.